Art Journal Pages, Scissors Doodles, Days 19, 20, and 21. In the Chinese zodiac, 2014 is the year of the horse. Well, at the Meri.Atelier, the Meri Studio, we have our own zodiac. Or, it should be said, I am declaring 2014 as the year of the scissors. Well, at least at the Meri Studio. As I start day 19 of my Scissors Doodle book, it is becoming apparent to me that I just might be tempted to continue drawing and sketching scissors quickies all through 2014. Would it be possible to come up with 365 unique scissors designs? Challenge me. I hear a lot of chat in journaling communities on the internet about the Lifebook project, and one of the prompts is to claim a word for the year. Well, I'm claiming the word scissors. P.S. And today, my scissors are taking on a bit of a different shape, and I explore a new-to-me technique. Come on, watch. I'm back with my Scissors Doodles. I'm ready to do 19, 20, and 21. I'm not going to do the flip through at the beginning. I'll do a flip through at the end. What I want to talk about is I had been preparing the first pages of my little journal that I got here. I got this at Michael's. They had them on sale earlier in the year, at the end of 2013, the beginning of 2014. I think these books are like around $5 or $6, and they had them on sale for like half off, 40% off. So I got this little book really cheap, and it was well worth the price because these are stitched in there. But for the first half of January, the first 15 pages that I did, I used clear gesso on my pages, and I liked that because it prevented my markers from soaking through to the other side. But clear gesso is a ground. It's has a tooth to it. It dries, this is clear, so it dries transparent, but it has a tooth to it so that it can grab onto things like pastels and chalks and your acrylic paints and stuff like that too. But I find that that tooth, while I'm working, will actually wear down the point on my marker. Now I've got two new sets of Sharpies. Walgreens had them on sale this week for buy one get one free. And I was just noticing here, I paused because I noticed that I do not have the same here, and I wondered if they gave me half off on this. One is more of a precision. One says it's fine and one says it's precision. But what I wanted to show you was, I opened one of these. I'm actually going to see what I have left in my other one. But look at the difference between, where's my, there. See, this gold one here that I've been using, I've actually worn down the tip of that point. Where this one is brand new, let me find it here. There we go. This one's brand new and it's got a nice point to it. And I think what's wearing it down is the tooth in my gesso. Of course, I put pressure on it too. I've used these, just about have used them up. So for the next couple pages, what I'm going to do is, I got out some, I've had this paint, Craft Smart, just craft paint. It dries flat. I have several. Just like everybody else, I have it around. And I need to be using this. And so what I did before I'm starting 19, 20, and 21 is I prepared the base of my page with, this happens to be suede colored, and it's put out by Craft Smart. It's an acrylic paint. So I think that it will block the markers coming through. I'm going to see. If it doesn't, I'll do like what I did over here and mark through it. But I think it will pretty much block my marker coming through the page. So I'm going to try it on my new one. And then if that works, I'll do these 3 pages. And then at the end of this video, I'll go ahead and prepare some more pages so everybody knows how to prepare them. But I'll show you what I did because I need to do them anyway. I think I'm going to use this pretty sea breeze colors on my next page. And then I have some white too. So, I think I'm going to start with that new one that I got out. Was this it? Yep, this is it. And I've been thinking now, I want to do something different. And I know this is a suede color, but I've been thinking pearls. And I have a pearl rider, and I don't know if I have it with me. And when I say with me, I mean out on my work table. I have a glitter rider, but that's not really what I want either. But I think I want to do pearls around my scissors, and then I've got a couple of other ideas that I want to try on these pages. But let's just start here, and I'm going to keep my same basic shape. See, I don't think that's going to come through. I think I'm going to be good here. But I don't want to, I want to leave room for what I'm thinking with my, or I could paint over them too. I want these scissors handles just a little bit larger. And I'm thinking a string of pearls. And I might go back over these lines that I'm drawing. I'm just getting a sense of where my scissors will be. And I'm not using a pencil, so I really can't erase these lines. Now I'm thinking that I want a string of pearls. Here it's coming over. So on this one, I want it to go under, and then it'll come out and go over again. How's that? Now I can bring my scissors down. Now, from this point on, I'm going to fast forward the video now that I've explained to you what I'm doing. And yes, I can see this is not soaking through. So I'm happy with this Craft Smart. And it's a matte finish. So I think I'm going to be doing that on the rest of my pages in this book. Okay. So at this point on, I'm just going to fast forward and you can watch. Okay, I'm starting my design by just drawing out the handles of the scissors and the pearls, how I think that they should be. You see that the scissors here take on a different shape than the scissors that I've been doing so far in this book. The scissors are more of what you would see as a Tim Holtz style scissors. So I just drape my little pearls around the handles of the scissors and along the shank of the scissors. I'm really happy with this, even as the doodle, until I get to this point. I'm trying to draw some shells in there, but I don't like them. So with the magic of craft paint, I erase them. Dry that area out so that I can continue working on my design. Now I want to use up, I have this set of gold, copper, and silver markers that I've been using throughout this book, and they're starting to get pretty used up. So I'm trying to use them as much as possible. Using them on this painted background, you don't see the scratchiness quite as much. I'm looking for my silver marker, and there I found it. So I make the shank of the scissors silver. And I have some Deco Arts metallic white pearl. And of course that's perfect to do the pearls of the necklace. I really like how it makes the pearl necklace stand out. And then I add some bold lines again with my Sharpie marker, just to make it contrast. One thing you need to be careful of if you're working with Sharpie markers and acrylic paint, be sure your paint is dry. Otherwise you could ruin the tip of your marker. You can see there I had to scratch it off a couple times. Now I'm thinking I want more of a contrast on my page, and I want more color in the background, so I'm thinking I'm just going to doodle in the background. I start drawing lines horizontally, diagonally, vertically, just any which way, just to get them on the page. And I like this. You can see I fill in all the little spaces there. Outline the pearls again. Then I get out this big bold marker and I start drawing little stars in there. And I think, well, I'm going to try something new. And I get out my alcohol, 100% denatured alcohol. And I wonder if I can blend this Sharpie marker. So I start blending it with my paintbrush, and I really like the effect. You can see over on the right hand side where you can still see the lines, but over on the left hand side where I had more ink, it kind of really blends it in. It almost looks like a painted sketch of the scissors there in the background. So I'm really liking that effect. I'm really happy with this page. I think I've turned a corner in my sketches on day 19. So now I'm getting ready to start day 20. You can see that I'm going to do the pearls again, the same big scissors design. I like the larger scissors because I have a lot of area to work with. This time I'm using pearls and flowers. Kind of gives it a tropical feel. So I draw flowers all over the base of the page, and I start putting them in the background and attaching one to the handle of the scissors, and very happy with that. Now I decide that I want to use that same technique that I did on the other page for day 19 with blending the Sharpie lines with my alcohol ink, but this time I'm going to do it before I paint my scissors out. So I just start drawing lines any which way. I cross hatch them and just fill in all the background space with lines with my Sharpie, because I'm going to get out that denatured alcohol and start moving that ink with denatured alcohol. It's a little smelly, but it's not too bad because, you know, I don't have a whole open bottle of it. I just spray a little on my craft sheet there and move it with my paintbrush. And I love the painterly, sketchy effect of this. I could stop right there, but no, I've got to get out my metallics, and I get out my Folk Art Blue Sapphire. I think I like the metallics a lot because they give a shine to the page without it being so glittery. I like glitter too, but this just adds just a little extra oomph to the page. Kind of get out of frame there. Sorry about that. Then I have some moss green, and I can tell when I do these pages, you can see now, you can see those, the metallic is almost transparent, but when you tip it a certain way, it you can't see those lines. You have to kind of tip it to see the lines on that page. I get out some white pearl again and some red metallic, and I mix those together to make sort of a light pink, and I do my pearls with that very light white pearlish pink. Then I start working, adding some color, some blush to the flowers. I mix a little bit more red there. See that? See when I tip it up, tip it back, sometimes you can't see those lines. It's kind of like a holographic effect almost. Get out black metallic and do the blades and start outlining around in the background. And then I want to push the background further in the back, so I make a wash out of that black metallic. And I just kind of fade everything into the background. Drying everything off again, making sure it's really dry because I'm going to use my Sharpie marker on it again. I learned in college that you're not really supposed to outline it when you're painting, outline everything in black. But sometimes I do it just because, well, I'm not in college anymore and I can do it. I can, because I can. And also I think it adds a nice contrast to the page. These are sketches, are not masterpiece paintings. They're meant to be doodles. Now I'm working on the third in this series. I think this is what, day 21, and I'm using another very basic scissor shape, but I have this set of big market markers that I've used and used and used, and they're starting to dry out, but I want to get as much ink out of them as I can, and I thought, well, what better way to do that than to scratch them on the page and then blend all that in with my alcohol, my denatured alcohol. And so I start doing that. I just get out my driest of the dry markers, which is kind of the browns and the colors that I use them a lot. I use the browns a lot because I love the earth tone colors. And I just blend all those scratchy lines with that denatured alcohol. You're going to see me doing more of that in the sketchbook. So my red is really scratchy too. But I'm just using as much as I can out of it. You know, I mix a little orange with them. My orange is a little bit juicier. So I have a nice red-handled scissors. Kind of make a little sword blade out of the shank there. And I'm really happy with that. And I thought, well, I need some more doodles on this page. So, because after all, this is a doodle book. So I kind of draw what kind of mimics maybe a fabric in the background. I just do some doodling of curvy lines there and add some red. I liked how that red in between the little squares in there just kind of adds a little element to the page, to the fabric. And then I do some vertical lines in the background, kind of looks like a bead board maybe in the background. Emphasize it with some blue ink and kind of emphasize the stripes. I'm really happy with this design. It's more of a, oh, I don't know. It's more of a basic design. It's not so flowery. Okay. I think I'm done. This is day 19. I kind of experimented with alcohol and the Sharpie marker in here. I've never really done that before. Kind of give it a interesting effect in the background to move that ink. This is pearl, metallic pearl. This is what I could get out of my gold and copper Sharpie. I'm trying to use every bit that I can. I know that there are white spaces in there. Maybe you can see them. It's kind of sketchy, but that's okay. It's not considered anything finalized. It's a doodle. It's a painterly doodle. So that's day 19. Here again, this is day 20, and I played more with moving the alcohol inks in the background. Can you see that, the effect in there? I don't know how much you can see with the light. I played with my metallic paints and my pearls, kind of mixing them in there and then going back again with that big black Sharpie marker so that it is more of a drawing. And here I have this old set of markers, and I'm just trying to use up every bit that I can. And when I make the markers on there, when I make the marks, they're kind of scratchy. So I move those scratchy marks with my alcohol and a brush. And in here I was just playing with getting a texture. I like this one. It's very simple, but I do like it. So you can see I went from a very different style from this to the Zen Doodles to all of a sudden these big, almost Tim Holtz shaped scissors. But that's okay. I like the shape of these scissors. I can only get one on the page, but I have a lot of area to work with on them. They're not really delicate scissors. Okay, I'm going to do a flip through the entire book of January. You see my cover's getting all used. I might be able to take that off with some alcohol. I might try that. So this was day one. This was not day one, this was the introduction. This was day one. I could probably use that alcohol and move a little of these because they're very scratchy too. But I think I'm just going to leave them alone. They are what they are. So that's day one. Day two. I actually signed these. I need to go back and sign all these others. So day one, day two. Day three was a 2-page layout. I really do like this one. What I like about it is, can you see all the little scissors in the background? In here, all these little scissors in the background. I like that, and then I painted those big black scissors over them. So that's day three. Day four, I was starting to play with metallics here. They're kind of very simple in a way. This was the kind of the coppery one, and this was the gold one. This one almost reminds me of an Egyptian type background with the little marks in there. I don't know how much you can see with the light shining on it. So that's day five. Day six goes into my steampunk. Day seven, still steampunk, only with gold. Day 8 and 9, can't get the lighting here. Very metallic, so that they're very shiny. They're very hard to see with the lighting. I call this kind of my ironwork grate. Like you're looking through a window toward the light in the background. And there's actually scissors in the background. I don't know how much you can see of them. See down here? There's a pair of scissors that go that way. That's day 8 and 9. I should revisit my chatelaines. These were really kind of fast sketches. This is day 10 and day 11. These were chatelaines. And then I skipped over to here for day 12. This one is day 12. That's another one of my favorite ones. I started out with a pink Copic marker that I got, and then I overlaid it with a rose gold metallic that I also got in a goodie bag, and then I did the black Sharpie over that. It's one of my favorites. So that's 12. 13. I call these my sad sack scissors. They're supposed to be double hearts, and they are double hearts, but somehow the shape of these handles makes me think that they're sad. They just got a sort of a sad, droopy-eyed look, like it's tough to be in love. So that's day 13. And then what did I do with 14? This is 14. Looks like I need to do a little repair in there. Looks like I dribbled some paint or something on it. I was doing embossing. So that's 14 and 15. And then I come back over here to day 16. I'm getting into the Zen Doodle. Day 17 was Zen Doodle, and then I bopped back over here again to use up this page, which is kind of a metallic again with a circle of scissors. That's day 18. And then you get back into the ones I did today, which I kind of really like these. Day 19. You can see them without the shine. This is day 20 and day 21. So that I hope that you've watched me. I hope that you've enjoyed watching me do these. I've had a lot of fun doing them. And if you did enjoy watching me do these, please subscribe to my channel. And I will see you on the next page. Oh, you know what? I closed all this out. You know what I want to do now? I should have done that before I did my walkthrough. I want to show you what I'm doing with my pages instead of doing that glossy or that clear gesso background. I'm doing a matte. I'm using a matte acrylic paint to paint the backgrounds here. Well, you know what? It was good that I did it this last, because I wouldn't have been able to do the flip through until these dried off. And then I'm just going to use my sponge brush, which is really wet. Can't squeeze some of the water out of this sponge brush off of the camera here. And the reason I'm doing this is because those markers will bleed through, and I don't want to use my I do not want to use my clear gesso, because that gesso leaves a sandy grit that just kind of bites into my markers. And I'm finding just a coat of flat paint prevents those markers from soaking through to the next page. So you're going to see me preparing pages for the next day as I go through here. Isn't this a pretty color? And this dries really fast. I'm trying to get as much out of my sponge here as possible. This just coats the page so that so my markers don't There we go. I think I'm pretty happy with that. So, I hope that you've enjoyed watching me do the doodles today. I had a lot of fun doing them. If you did, please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you on the next page.